Video disclaimer, I do not promote the verbal harassment towards this ball and gun gamer. Please spare his soul. Enjoy the video, bro.
Story mode games are not what create fans. It's multiplayer games. Do y'all understand that? Multiplayer games is what makes a fan base. Call of Duty, NBA 2K, GTA, WWE, Fortnite, Arc Raiders, whatever game you want to think of, guys, that's popular, it's because of multiplayer games. So you guys need to stop running around with this idea that, oh, you haven't played a story mode game. That's cool.
My black brother in Christ, you really propped your phone up, recorded that video, watched the video back, edited the video and said, yeah, this is the one. Are you fucking dumb?
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
These ball and gun gamers have gone too far. How do you even fix your lips to make a take that egregious? The minute he said that story mode games don't create fans, I knew from right there and then this dude was a ball and gun gamer. And for those who don't know what a ball and gun gamer is, it's basically a person that plays games with balls in them and guns. Their gaming rotation usually looks a little like 2K, Fortnite, GTA, Madden, Rainbow, you know, games like that. But look, I'll always say a person is entitled to play whatever they want. But if you're not gonna step outside your box, don't go speaking on other games in their communities. In today's video, we're gonna break down this dude and his nefarious take. Look guys, I'm recording this video at 1 a.m. I slept all day. I just came from the gym. You're probably wondering, Ron, why do you have a suit on? Look guys, I'm just trying to be entertaining. So if you don't mind, please subscribe to help me get my sleep back. Oh yeah, and be sure to like the video too to lower my blood pressure because dog, this take is Gotham work.
It's multiplayer games. Do y'all understand that? Multiplayer games is what makes a fan base. Call of Duty, NBA 2K, GTA, WWE, Fortnite, Arc Raiders, whatever game you want to think of, guys, that's popular, it's because of multiplayer games.
I'm gonna assume one or two things from this guy. A, he started playing the game in 2020, or B, he's just rage baiting. Here's a fun fact that many of us probably didn't know. At one point in time, there was no such thing as online multiplayer on games. The irony of that guy's shitty take is the fact that all of the games that he listed were story mode games before they became primarily multiplayer games. Let's go over the games that he listed. Bro, Call of Duty prior to Modern Warfare was mainly bought for its campaign. Call of Duty during its early inceptions was built around cinematic World War II campaigns inspired by movies like Save It Private Ryan and Band of Brothers. The main appeal for COD back then was immersive war stories. And yes, while multiplayer did exist for those games, it was the campaign that wrote people in. Again, the great shift in Call of Duty didn't really happen till Call of Duty 4, aka Modern Warfare. Next we got NBA 2K. Early 2K games were centered around offline content. Who would have thought? Up until 2K14 with the introduction of My Park, 2K pretty much primarily focused on presentation and offline replayability. I don't even know why this guy said GTA. If we're being honest, GTA Online didn't start getting taken seriously till GTA 4, and if we're talking about on a global scale, probably GTA 5. Fun fact, the first GTA had online, but nobody played that shit. People didn't randomly start loving GTA when GTA 5 Online became a thing. People fell in love with GTA because of games like Vice City and San Andreas. It doesn't even make sense to reference GTA in your point because GTA itself has always been story first. GTA will release its game first and let people immerse themselves within the story, then release online weeks later. And with WWE, it's the same thing, story first. I stopped playing those games after the SmackDown vs. Raw series stopped. I've literally seen people call WWE 2K26 a scam and the worst WWE ever dropped. And bro, honestly, I don't even know why you said Fortnite and Arc Raiders. Like, oh my lord. All of the games this guy listed have dedicated consumers, not dedicated fans. At one point, they might have been dedicated fans, but now it's just live service dedicated consumers. A fan loves the series, critiques it honestly, wants innovation, skips entries if they're bad, and cares more about long-term quality. Whereas a dedicated consumer buys the game automatically, defends the game emotionally. They play the game out of habit or the fear of missing out, and they'll keep spending even while being upset with the game. That is why you see people say things like, oh my god bro, 2K is so trash, Oh, bro, COD dropped the same game again. Then they proceed to buy the $120 deluxe edition. Hey, before we get back into this video, just chill. I got a little something y'all can do in between y'all matches while playing the game. Gang, if you download the app called Free Cash by hitting the link in my description or scanning the QR code on the screen, you can literally get paid for playing games. The sign up is free and straight to the point, and they not finna be asking you all that bullcrap. Once you play through the levels enough, the cash will literally go straight to your Free Cash account. I promise you they not finna sell your data, so you don't gotta worry about that. Some of y'all might end up making $10, $20 a day if you really putting in the effort. I ain't saying you finna be rich, but some people making up to $500 on certain games and offers and they didn't spend a dime. Bro, I'm literally telling you, DM me when you get paid. When you played enough and it's time to cash out, you got options like PayPal or gift cards. So if you curious, go ahead and hit the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen and sign up for free and start playing. You ain't doing nothing in between games anyway, you might as well get some free cash. So at first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this dude was rage baiting because who is capable of making a take this bad? But he wasn't. I opened the comments to read. Rob Silver says, nope, the game that got me interested in gaming was Doom, and the game that made me a gamer was Halo Combat Evolved, both solo games. It's fine that you like multiplayer better, but stop trying to act like your opinion is how everyone else thinks. Plenty of people prefer solo games and plenty of solo games become franchises. JR Ranks responds, okay, lol. And then EK Games says, not a single rebuttal because you have none. Now I want you guys to look at the time frame in between those messages. Dude genuinely had no response. But when JR Ranks does get a response, he says this. Also, I'll respond to you since some assume I had no response. It does not matter what game got you into gaming or what game you prefer. It's about what game the majority people are purchasing and playing more than single player games for a reason. When we buy multiplayer games that are good, we can play it over and over and actually enjoy the experience with friends and family. I know a lot of you are emotional and disregard logic to say how you feel, but facts don't give a fuck about how you feel or what got you into gaming. Numbers don't lie when it comes to multiplayer game sales over single player game sales and players on multiplayer games over single player games, and the truth could be less or give a fuck about how you feel. Have a nice day though. I'm not gonna lie, JR Ranks, I had a stroke reading that shit. Between the misspelling, the mispunctuation, and you just not knowing how to properly text on your phone, bro, come on. But it was right there and then reading this response that I knew JR Ranks had mosquito IQ. And yes, I'm glad you brought up logic because I love logical fallacies and now you're giving me a reason to nerd out. Let me take this jacket off. JR Ranks, are you dumb or slow? Pick one. First, you straw man Rob's comment. Rob told you stop acting like your opinion is how everyone thinks, but you responded as if he said single player games are better than multiplayer games. That's not even the same argument. You're just attacking a weaker version of his point instead of the actual argument being made. You then proceed to appeal to popularity and use this bandwagon argument. Your premise is basically more people buy multiplayer games, so multiplayer games are better and create true fans. Your whole premise is because more people buy multiplayer games are better and create true fans. I genuinely thought it was common knowledge to know that popularity doesn't prove quality or superiority. Something being mainstream doesn't automatically make the opposing views invalid. You then go on to make a false equivalence by comparing multiplayer counts to single player counts as if they function the same way when they don't. Multiplayer games are built on endless retention. That's why they flood y'all with little tedious things like battle passes, daily challenges, and progression systems. Single player games are designed to be completed and that's it. The retention in a single player game comes from the player's choice. A player might want to try the game with a harder difficulty, or they might want to beat the game with a different ending. I personally think it's okay for me to make an absolute generalization and say that most multiplayer games retention comes from FOMO. Measuring both single player and multiplayer by the active player standard is completely flawed. You also make an ad hominem by saying a lot of you are emotional and disregard logic. Why are you attacking people personally instead of addressing the argument that's being presented? You're basically framing people as irrational before they even get the chance to respond. Like this dude's whole response was, you either accept the numbers or you're emotional. Bro, what? You also make a hasty generalization by saying people buy multiplayer games for a reason, then proceed to not prove why that reason exists. The whole ironic part about this is the fact that Rob's original comment had the more nuanced position, but then JR Ranks in his ball and gun gamer brain turned it into majority decides true fans. I'm drinking this prebiotic poppy soda at like 2 in the morning. This is not an ad, by the way. I'm just telling you. I don't know. Make sure y'all stay healthy. But anyways, story mode games don't create fans. What? Every time I hear him say that, I cannot fathom how someone could conceptualize a take so bad. JR ranks, to you and everyone watching this video, it is okay for people to not talk about stuff that they do not understand. Again, this dude was mixing financial success with fan attachment, and those are not the same thing. Story mode games create true fans throughout their iconic games and characters. Just look at some of gaming's most iconic characters: Kratos, Sonic, Master Chief, Mario, Cloud, Solid Snake, the list goes on. When we bring up the topic best video game characters of all time, no one's gonna reference people from Fortnite or Arc Raiders. Fortnite's whole identity is just adding characters to their game from other franchises. You can't even reference people from 2K, WWE, and Madden because those are professional athletes, not characters. People aren't a fan of 2K, they are a fan of basketball and the NBA and the social aspect that comes with playing 2K. The same goes for Madden and WWE. Story mode games create true fans because of their characters. Players spend hours emotionally attached to these characters through things like dialogue, sacrifices, struggles, growth, and conclusions. Story mode games have storytelling. Storytelling creates parasocial and emotional investment and attachment. Multiplayer games usually create attachment through things like the experience, the competition, the memories with friends. Nobody is loading up Fortnite and is devastated because Default Skin 4 had a tragic arc. You can't go back and play those Fortnite live events, you had to be there. It was the experience. You can go back and play any Sonic game you want. You can go back and play any Kingdom Hearts game you want. A 10-year-old right now cannot go back and play season 1 Fortnite. Like, when I think of Fortnite, I think of the memories I had when I first started that game, 2018 Christmas Fortnite. Like, it was peak times. By JR Ranks logic, gacha games and casino games should have the most fans. Like, Dragon Ball Legends should have some die-hard true fans willing to put their life on the line for that game, but they don't, because a game making millions of dollars only means that the company mastered monetization and retention. Years from now, people will still be talking about Final Fantasy. They'll still be talking about Kingdom Hearts. They'll still be talking about Pokemon. If multiplayer games automatically created true fans, then these live service sports and FPS games would have the most emotionally respected communities in gaming. And with all that being said, we have now reached the end of the video. I'm gonna go to sleep now because I don't want to be up at the ass crack of dawn. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to hit 30K. As always, thank you guys for tuning into another episode, and I will see you in the next one.